try to be quick. August 9th. I don't know if I'm going to post this, but I know I wanted to record it so that I wouldn't react. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew how sensitive our mind is, right? To the things we expose ourselves to, but I didn't realize how sensitive. And I'm almost now wondering, like, have I become so sensitive to it that my dream state, it's just... So what happened was, yesterday, I was just trying to make an effort to stay balanced. Got emotional, recorded what I did, but stay balanced with work, with the divorce paperwork, and, trying to be flexible with even my free time. Giving myself permission to have free time. So during my free time, I would watch Game of Thrones. I stayed up late, ate late, overate, and I stayed up watching. I mean, my hands were hurting, so because I've been typing a lot. So I felt like I was balancing it okay, and then I figured, okay, well, we'll watch Game of Thrones, right? Like, pick up where I left off. I went to bed like at 2:30 in the morning. But I got the urge. Like, I got the urge, to, like, pleasure myself. But in my dream, I end up falling asleep. And in my dream, it was really intense. Not sexually intense, but scary intense. It was like, you remember, I don't know if you remember, but I recorded on how I realized that some of my dreams were just to scare me, right? They were to scare me to get up out of bed because I was being too lazy. And I felt the sting of those dreams. Well, that's happened twice already since I started watching Game of Thrones. And the first time I knew it was because, I'm binge watching, binge eating. And I kind of did it yesterday too, but the intensity of the dream was a little more intense. Like, even visual, it was more visually intense. And there was, like, death, and there was a lot of green little jumping spiders. I don't like jumping spiders. But I was in bed, and there was almost this feeling of, like, wanting to be pleasured, but then there were, like, body parts. There was this not body part. Oh yeah, there was a body part. But there was almost this in my head, I'm like, it's just a dream, like, just very, like, dismissive of it. So it kept getting more intense because I kept dismissing it in my dream. And it got to the point where there was even a woman, but she was dead. She was dead alive next to me. And I've mentioned, right, that oftentimes in my dreams, when it's very when there's a sexual tone to it, I'm dreaming that I'm with a woman. And so I realize that and I'm in and out of sleep. There's almost this feeling like I'm in and out of sleep, but she's next to me, and I realize that she's dead. There's her skin color is the Game of Thrones. the Game of Thrones chapter that I was on was when Jon Snow died. He's going back to life. So I knew that came from there, but there was this push, like I was being pushed out of bed, And when I got up out of bed, that's when I saw all the little green jumping spiders, and they were like trying to get at me. And then I would walk away, and it's almost like even she was telling me to get out, to get out. And I'm walking out, getting up, and then I start seeing more of them. I'm like, oh man. It's about my indulgences. It's about my indulgences, right? The cleansing that I need to do with the final, whatever's lingering. It felt like it was just the lingering stuff. And then I exit the bedroom, but I'm exiting the house. That I'm exiting is the house that one of the houses that many houses that I used to live in. But it was one of the first big move in my life when I was like 14. I was exiting that house, and it was dark outside when I left the house, and I'm trying to escape, but at the same time I'm being pushed out. So it's both like this mutual, I need to escape, but I'm also being pushed out, and I'm trying to get to my car to leave the area, to leave that. So I started thinking, I'm like, you know, it's progressed. The scary dream to, you know, like slap that out of me has been progressing. So I woke up and I was sitting within, I was sweating, so I knew there was a little bit of fear about it, and I was like, it was a dream, and I know what it meant. So I woke up and I deleted that. I deleted that. I'm like, okay, but then it made me start wondering, like, I watched all of Game of Thrones before, and nothing like this ever happened. And so now I'm just wondering, is it because of the cleansing that I've done? And so it's you know, the karmic, you know, just curious. I think I'm more curious right now as to what that means in terms of what exists right now in the world visually, right? I mean, if everyone's on this, if everyone, because I mean, on the birth chart, there's like, well, it doesn't have to be like actors, or the storyline doesn't have to be that intense, but it's making me wonder and question and realize, right? I gotta be careful. Because it's clearly it's intense. That dream was, I think, the most intense. I think some other people would get scared. I think other people, that's what I realized. I'm like, other people would get really scared about like seeing body parts and seeing a dead woman next to me. Next to you, right? Who was talking to you, and then it was very medieval-ish, but again, I knew where it was coming from. I'm left with this curiosity about it, just to understand it a little more, but also knowing I need to get my shit together and not indulge. I just want to record that because it was intense, and I woke up sweaty, and it's been a while. Well, I mean, it was recently for the same reason. So clearly, Game of Thrones is not included in my you know, my free time to balance myself out. Clearly, I can't watch Game of Thrones anymore. That's interesting. I guess that's it for right now. I don't know if I'll post this or if I'll just kind of keep this for myself. I'll meditate and ask about it. But that was interesting. Very interesting. Lingering little spiders. Need to do a cleanse on these bad habits. Unhelpful habits. But yeah, it made me wonder.
Hey you, my name is Yubi and I use she, they pronouns, and you've just finished watching a clip from my video diary entries where I'm documenting my healing journey as I learn how to navigate my spiritual awakening. I have learned that this experience and process is unique to each and every one of us in whatever way we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of formal mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself as these experiences unfold, and really inviting you along for the ride. Please know that there is a time gap between when these videos post and my real timeline, and also that these clips build upon each other similar to chapters in a book. So if you find yourself lost or confused, feel free to click on the playlist section or the link below, where you can jump around, check out the other chapters, and or catch up. Also, please know that you're more than welcome to check out my website, www.youbecominghealed.com, where I've gathered all of this information, my background, experience, and education to create online self-paced courses to help you on your healing journey wherever you are. You're also more than welcome to check out my other YouTube channel at You Becoming Healed, where I've entertained a podcast, including clips from these courses so that I can make this content accessible to more and more people. Please click like, subscribe, and share this content so again it reaches more people, with the hopes that other people will resonate and connect with the healing journey and the stories shared so that they don't feel alone in their own process. I thank you in advance. I'm grateful to you, and I wish you well.